Right, so today we're looking at part 4 of Big Ed and Liz on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 7. So last time out, Big Ed and Liz had an argument over how Ed was behaving during a photo shoot with Liz's friend Alex, and it didn't go very well. Although Liz apologised for overreacting and Big Ed apologised for not being sensitive to her feelings, they were both still very clearly mad at each other after the conversation ended. The day after, Big Ed went to play frisbee golf with his friends Tony and Edward, where he admitted that he doesn't know how to have a healthy disagreement with Liz without it turning into an argument, and he also acknowledged the fact that his impulsive and insecure nature is a big problem for him in the relationship. In today's video, Big Ed is going to have to deal with repeated rejection on an unusual date night. But first, Liz is going for a chat with her friend Alex after their dance class to talk about her issues with Ed and how he behaved during the photo shoot, which he still isn't over.
He doesn't want to see me grow or succeed. I feel like I'm the one person so far that's kind of been in his life that's never needed anything from him.
Maybe that's why you guys fight. Do you think he wants you to need him more? And it makes him feel in control if you need him?
Yeah.
And the more you go away from that, the more like insecure he doesn't have like the hold on you.
It's so interesting to hear them talk about this because it's exactly what Mia told me last season. For those of you who didn't see the video, I reached out to one of the women that Big Ed dated at the start of 90 Day The Single Life Season 2, and she told me that he had said to her that he loves it when a woman needs him for something in a relationship. Kind of like how he felt Rose did with the money and the green card in his first season. I think Liz being able to not just survive but thrive without him gives her power to leave, which scares him, but also takes away the power he feels he has when he threatens to leave her, which Liz has admitted several times is something he does to manipulate her.
So does Ed let you have like alone time, like you time, and like be yourself?
He lets me have me time when I'm going to work out. But I put on a couple pounds since we've been back together.
Does he want you to lose weight? Does he say that?
Not exactly, but he's definitely brought up the point of like past pictures of myself.
Yeah, that face pretty much sums it up. Apparently, he pulls out old photos of Liz and asks her if she ever considers going back to that size. But where this human bowling ball gets the confidence to talk about someone else's figure is beyond me. If he was in good shape himself, at least he wouldn't be a hypocrite as well as being well out of line. But he's built like a big juicy tick that's gorged on too much blood. Regardless of her looks in terms of beauty standards as well, one thing everyone seems to constantly comment on is how different Liz looks now compared with how she did when they first met only 2 years ago. It's like rather than blood, Big Ed has sucked all of the life and joy out of her.
I don't feel pretty. And that's kind of like why I started dance classes, like when we broke up before, because I'd see the type of girls he was hanging out with. I would hope that Ed would love me no matter what. I've loved him at his heaviest and his smallest since I've been with him. Never thought I'd feel so insecure about myself the way that I do now.
This is actually so sad to watch, even if my awkward smile doesn't convey that very well. Like, your partner is supposed to make you feel confident and sexy, not depressed and insecure. I wouldn't be surprised if he was negging her on purpose either. From what we've seen and heard of how manipulative he can be, doing things because they psychologically make her more likely to want to stay with him would not be beyond him at all. I'm just glad she's at least aware of what's going on.
Like when Ed and I broke up, I got really thin again.
He wants you to be that way? Does he understand that that's not a healthy like mental space for you to be?
I don't think he's one to talk.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're stunning and beautiful. You don't need to lose a pound. You should tell him that.
Yeah, it's not really the fact that he wants her to be at an unhealthily low weight. It's the fact that he's trying to control her weight in general like this. Don't get me wrong, everyone's entitled to their own preferences, and if he has a preference for a specific body type, that's completely fine. The issue is him making her feel insecure with these rude manipulative hints. That's also not the only way that he's being controlling at the moment either. Apparently, the only time that he's not constantly checking in, asking her where she is and who she's with, is when she's at the gym.
It sounds really controlling to me. And I worry about them because if she's not able to be herself and he tries to restrict or control her, you can build up a lot of resentment in a relationship.
I definitely still see like he just projects a lot of things.
His insecurities onto you.
Sex.
Yeah.
It's a shame Alex said the thing about resentment issues to the camera rather than to Liz, because it's a very valid point that she could do with hearing. And I think it's pretty clear that the resentment is already there, given how they interact and talk about each other. I'm sure some of you will have caught it, but Liz actually posted a drunken, now deleted rant to Instagram a little while ago, talking about being fat shamed and saying she can't wait to be fired and that she can't wait to be dumped and single. And I wonder if it was posted after he made one of these types of comments to her, or if it escalates further from this point and happens later on.
I think Ed is scared to be loved. I think he's scared to get hurt, and he's insecure about that. And when Ed has insecurities, there are some control issues that can make me question if I can see a future with him.
This is literally the main reason we've been saying they got engaged too early. You're supposed to figure out if you've got a future with someone before you promise to spend the rest of your life with them. Now, the way things are going, if Ed doesn't change big time, and if she doesn't change herself, because she definitely causes a lot of the relationship issues, even if they get married, it's only going to be a matter of time before she realises that she can't continue like this. Also, Liz going to her friends to get advice and talk things through is definitely a good thing, but she needs to have this conversation with Ed. Those of you that follow me on Instagram will know that Big Ed followed me there after the last video, so maybe he watches some of these. But assuming that he doesn't, she needs to just confront him and tell him what he's doing wrong. Some of the stuff he definitely does on purpose, but some of it is just because he's useless and oblivious. By the way, if you're not already following me, the link to my Instagram is in the description down below, or my @ is ArthurTV. And alongside it is a link to my website, arthur.tv/links, which has links to more content like short form content, live streams, true crime and podcasts, info on how to support me and join the supporters wall, and a bunch of my favourite playlists for you guys to binge. It's sort of like the Arthur TV hub, so go check it out if you haven't before. Anyway, back to the video.
During the photo shoot, Liz said that I'm trying to show off, and to me, that is total BS. That's just her being a baby sissy wah-wah. But at the same time, I didn't react very well to it, and I think what I did was I embarrassed her in front of her friend. So I have to be more sensitive to make this work with Liz.
I love how he says he's got to be more sensitive to Liz after calling her a baby sissy wah-wah behind her back on national TV. Also, the reason he has to be sensitive is because he's made her insecure from all of this manipulation and negging. If he made her feel loved and appreciated and valued and respected, she wouldn't need all the extra reassurance and sensitivity. Anyway, with the engagement party just round the corner, his relationship with Liz isn't the only one he's trying to repair. His mum and daughter still aren't answering his calls, meaning he's stuck leaving them voicemail messages.
Oh, hey, Mom, it's Ed. Hope you're doing well. We sent out our engagement invitations, and I'm just calling to see if you'll be coming. So, love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I don't know. I think she's just so upset, but my therapist is like, look, you're doing the right thing. Tell them that you love them. In time, they'll come around.
I didn't realise Big Ed was still in therapy. He spoke about going for 6 months as if it cured him, but this is the first time we've heard him say that he's still actually seeing someone. Good on him if that's true, because I feel like he's got at least a century or two to go before he gets to the root of just some of his issues. Well, shortly after this, Liz gets back from dance class, evening falls, and the time finally comes for Big Ed and Liz's weekly date night.
Liz and I just started doing this one night, just very organically. She's like, why don't you try to pick me up?
I want to know why you've been single for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick me up at the bar and try to take me home.
Exactly, which she found out why I'm single for 30 years.
Why is Liz saying that as if he didn't try it with her too? He spent months coming along to the restaurant where she works, often bringing women to make her jealous, and then one day asked her out to dinner on camera with no prior hints from her, and she hesitantly said yes after haggling it down to a brunch. I do kind of rate the way Big Ed's taking the mick out of himself here, and they're not taking things too seriously though. It's a breath of fresh air compared with what we're used to.
So what are our names going to be? Who do you want to be?
Who do you think I'm gonna be?
Stella.
Totally. I'm totally gonna be Stella.
I know at the end of the night I'm really gonna bag you. At least I know
wow,
that
thanks.
even though I'm failing, at least I know you're a sure thing.
You just called me a sure thing.
It's so weird watching this. It's like we're watching a normal, healthy relationship for once. He definitely could have phrased the whole "I'm gonna bag you" part more romantically, but she took it well, so I guess he's in the clear. I actually rate the whole date idea too. It sounds like so much fun, and goodness knows they need a bit of enjoyment in their relationship right now.
Well, hello. Is the seat taken?
No, it's open.
I'm Slide with a Y because I slide into people's DMs.
Get lost.
No? Bad?
Get lost.
Okay, all right.
Bad.
Okay, one more time.
How is my name Slide because I slide into people's DMs a pickup line? There's no compliment or offer or play on words here, and it's not even relevant because they're talking in person. Plus, I don't know about you guys, but someone sliding into a lot of DMs is not an attractive trait. Genuinely 0 out of 10. One of the worst I've ever heard. Lucky for him though, Big Ed gets multiple attempts. If he fails, she rejects him, but he gets another go until hopefully he's successful.
How are you doing?
Can I help you?
Yeah, are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yeah, you look like an angel that fell from heaven.
Get out. Can I help you?
Sure. I wanted to come by and find out if you know CPR.
If I know CPR.
Yeah, you just stole my heart.
Get out.
Is your dad a boxer? Because you're a total knockout.
Was that seriously something that was in your notes?
No.
Go.
I love seeing Liz with the upper hand and being in control for once. It's actually so entertaining in general too. I would love to see Big Ed try these on women in real life to see how they'd react to it. If they end up breaking up for good, Discovery need to do a Big Ed Goes Speed Dating series or episode at least.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
I actually do not.
Or should I walk by again? Are you single?
I can be single.
Whoa. So can I buy you dinner?
You can buy me dinner. I love you.
I love you.
I was just about to joke that they broke character real quick and the roleplay didn't last very long, but saying I love you just 3 sentences into a first date is actually standard Big Ed. Watching him try to woo someone really does make you wonder how he ended up with a fiancé though, doesn't it? I mean, with game like this, you'd think the only chance he'd have of getting laid would be to crawl up a chicken's ass and wait. But for whatever reason, Liz really does like him.
I really do think Ed and I do bring the best out in each other. He can frustrate me, and we do have issues. But I do love him. And this is why I want to work so hard for this relationship.
I wonder what actually makes her think that they bring the best out in each other. It's just such a weird thing to say after spending the day in tears talking to a friend about how he makes her feel insecure, fat shames her, and doesn't want her to succeed in life. Them bringing the best out in each other just isn't what we see, and one cute date isn't enough to convince me otherwise. It's easy to get along when you're all dressed up and on a fun romantic date, but what really matters is what day-to-day life is like, and how you face challenges and problems together. And at the moment at least, they really struggle with those things. Speaking of challenges, next, Big Ed tells Liz that he phoned his mum and daughter earlier to ask if they were coming to the engagement party. But despite saying that he still wants them to come, Liz isn't so sure.
They come, it'll be hard. They don't come, it's hard. If Tiffany or Norma came, I do see unwanted drama. But for Ed to not have his family there, it does make me really sad. But I'd be lying if I didn't say it's a little bit of a relief if they don't come.
Harsh, but they're kind of damned if they do and damned if they don't. If they don't come, it's a big statement against the relationship, and it makes it much more of an Ed's choosing Liz over us situation. But if they do come, the drama's obviously not going to get resolved by then, so it's just going to make the whole thing so frosty and uncomfortable. Although, Ed's confident that after everyone gets over the shock of the announcement, they'll come to accept Liz and the relationship due to the progress that they've been making.
You're like a different person you were a year ago.
I think you're a different person than you were a year ago, too.
And I think it has a lot to do with me finally shutting up and just listening to who you are and letting you be who you are.
I think we're still working on both of those, but...
I thought we were there. No?
No.
It's such a Big Ed thing to do to pretend like everything's going great just because it's going okay in that exact moment. I'm glad Liz shut his BS down there. It's a tough one for her because you don't really want to bring the mood down and ruin a nice date, but at the same time, this would be a great opportunity for her to be like, you don't listen to me and don't allow me to be who I am because you're constantly trying to manipulate me to change the way I act and the way I look, and the weight thing is a perfect example of that.
Liz has been the hardest, most wonderful thing in my life. I mean, she is a pain in the ass. But I mean, look at me. I mean, I cannot imagine dating myself. I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't.
Why does he say it like that's something he's proud of? Again, it's another time that I wish the producers would step in and make him explain himself. I'm pretty sure we'd be able to guess the majority of things he'd say, but I'd still love to hear him list out loud all of the reasons why he wouldn't date himself. Also, have you noticed that every single time they say something nice about the other person in these individual interviews, that they also add loads of negativity? It's almost like they romanticize the fact that they fight all the time by making it out as if the fact that they love each other makes it okay. And it's like, it doesn't. Please just seek help.
Baby, are you ready for the rest of the night?
I take the guest room, you take the bedroom.
Baby, I thought you liked me.
I do like you. Really
So am I getting any?
I'm a sure thing.
Ending off knowing that these two are gonna go home and... oh, never mind. I don't want to think about it. I guess I'm just glad that for once things were going well on a date for Ed and he didn't actually ruin it. That said, the seeds of doubt have definitely been planted in Liz's mind. And Big Ed is the king of watering and covering those seeds in manure. So I really can't see this period of peace lasting very long. Plus, next time out, Big Ed is going to meet Liz's grandparents, who she sees as basically like being her parents. And it's going to be a confrontational one because they're already very skeptical of the relationship and Big Ed's intentions, and they aren't planning on holding back. So if you want to witness the grilling, keep up with the rest of the saga, and see more videos just like this one, please feel free to subscribe down below so you can catch those videos as soon as they're out. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.